Hey up and welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Simon and today I'm back with a video that wasn't originally going to go on this channel at all, and that video is going to be me going through the 16 long-listed books for this year's Women's Prize 2024 for fiction. I always have to add in the fiction because there is now the amazing non-fiction prize, which I'm hoping to read the short list of next month. Anyway, these are getting heavy, so let me get back to the point. I go through all 16 books and judge them by their first sentences, and you might be thinking, Simon, that sounds very similar to something that the artist formerly known as your mother, Louise Savage Muses, did on her channel recently, and that's because the plan was that her thoughts and my thoughts would get merged or alternate or something over on a video in her channel, but she got time poor before she went away on holiday, and I've been very time poor for filming, so that didn't happen. And so now you get her thoughts on her channel and my thoughts on my channel. So hopefully you're up for quite a bit of Women's Prize Long List for Fiction 2024 content at the moment. I will be spreading the rest of it out over the coming weeks and months, which we'll talk about a little bit later on after you see me in the past, funnily enough wearing the same outfit but different hair, going through the 16 books. So I hope you enjoy it. I'll have a catch up with you at the end about the book that I am going to start reading from the long list first, because shock horror, I've had them in the house for I think over 2 weeks now and haven't read one of them yet, but that will change. We'll talk about that, like I said, in a bit. So enjoy, and I will see you shortly. Right, so I have the Women's Prize long list next to me, and like my mother, I'm going to be reading the first line from each book and then working out sort of a pile of what my favourite first lines are. I have to say, I don't know if I know what makes a banging first line for me, but I guess we'll find out. So first up we have Hangman by Binyam, and I have to say I'm really excited for this one. I think it's the neon cover, also I've heard murmurings that it's great, but let's see what the first line is. And the first line is, in the morning I received a phone call and was told to board a flight. That didn't really impress me, if I'm honest. Yeah, okay, fine. Where's the flight to? Why have you been told you've got to get on a flight? I'm intrigued. I mean, it's top of my first line so far, but that's because there's no other ones to compare it to. But like, that hasn't like bowled me over. Then we have In Defense of the Act by Effie Black, which I hadn't heard of before it getting long listed. The first line, I really don't like the font in this book. The blonde woman, who I'm pretty sure said her name is Amy, but who doesn't really look like an Amy, more like an Anna, peers out at us in our rows. What should I put above that? I do like the fact they're both lovely and neon together. I'm a little bit more intrigued. I like that it doesn't look like an Amy, looks like an Anna, so let's put that ahead. Then we have And Then She Fell by Alicia, Elliott. And the first line of this one is, oh, well, it's the line of the prologue. Now, do I go for the first line of the prologue or the first line of a chapter? Oh my goodness, how long, where is chapter one? Hello, where are you? Hello? Oh, there's different fonts and stuff in here. Let's just go to the prologue because I can't find the first chapter. Alice never seemed to hear the microwave beeping, not even when she was 3 feet away from it, feet propped on the kitchen table as she painted her toenails neon green. I like that. I really like that first line. So that's easily like the number one choice there. Then we have Anne Enright's. And why do I like that? The reason that I like that is we all have those moments with microwaves, I'm sure. So I feel like that's relatable. And I also like the fact she's painting her toenails neon green because clearly she wants something to be exciting. So there we go. Anyway, next up, Anne Enright's The Wren. I've had a mixed relationship with Anne Enright in the fact that I think some of her writing is stunning, but also some of it not. There is a psychologist in Nevada called Russell T. Hurlburt who is interested in different ways people think. I mean, it's not awful, but is this whole book going to be about him? I'm not sure. I mean, it didn't wow me. I'm really sorry. I was slightly more interested about the flight than the psychiatrist. Then we have The Maiden by Kate Forster, which the more I see this cover, the more mildly offensive I find it. I'm really sorry, but I do. I feel like it's like I don't know, it looks like a bit twee and maybe like bad YA. So yeah, sorry to the folk at Pan Macmillan, because you do some wonderful books. Anyway, right, so chapter 1. You are sentenced, I don't know where, you are sentenced, I don't know where I went there. You are sentenced to beheading, God have mercy on your soul. Oh, that's 3 sentences, because I was about to prepare yourself in prayer. You're sentenced to beheading. Okay, I like that. Like, I don't like people being sentenced to beheading, but that's an instant like, oh, okay, I'm intrigued. So covers can be deceptive. I also just spotted it's got pineapples on the cover, and that's won me over to it a little bit more. Then we have, don't know why my voice went there either, Brotherless Night by V.V. Ganeshananthan, and this I'm excited for. It's one of the ones that I'm most keen to get to, actually. Oh gosh, no content's put me up a tiny bit. Anyway, where's the first line? The first line is, I recently sent a letter to a terrorist I used to know. But I won't lie, that's got me really hooked. So that's going above that one. Then, I love Kate Grenville. I've read quite a few of her books, but I also like to space them out. And this is Restless, Dolly, Maunder, which is, I believe, a fictionalised... Oh my goodness, the end papers. I know we're doing the first sentences, but that's stunning. As soon as she could walk, she wanted to be outside, moving. I think I'm going to put that... Do you know what? Yeah, sadly, that's second from the bottom. I mean, I liked it more than I did the one about the psychiatrist, but I didn't like it a lot. Then we have Isabella Hammad's Enter Ghost, which I think could be the winner of the prize this year, and rightly so for all sorts of reasons. Well, I haven't read it yet, but you know what I mean. If you know, you know. We have here the first line that says, I expected them to interrogate me at the airport, and they did. That is a good first line. I don't know if it beats that one though. I don't think it does, but I think it does beat the one about your sentence to be beheaded. Interesting. Quite a few airports. Well, flights and airports so far. Soldier Sailor by Claire Kilroy. And the first line of this one is, Well Sailor. Let's do one extra, but well, Sailor, here you are once more, you and me in one another's arms. No, I don't like that one. That's going to go second from the bottom. I don't like that first one. We have 8 Lives of a Century-Old Trickster by Mirinae Lee. And the first line of that one is... Oh, now, I should say this is a prologue. The idea came to me while I was going through my divorce. I don't like the next line. I was 47 and overweight. If there's fat shaming in this book, it's going to make me really cross. The idea came to me when I was going through my divorce. I mean, yeah, it's a bit on the old bland side, that, isn't it? Let's be honest. So I'll pop that, possibly, as you can guess, somewhere near the bottom. River East, River West, which I'm really intrigued for, by Aubrey Lescure, because I hadn't heard of it before. It says, a man called Lu Fang stole Alva's mother in... Let me do that again. A man called Lu Fang stole Alva's mother in Grand Ballroom B of Shanghai's Imperial Hotel. I love that first line. Do I love that more than Brotherless Night? I recently sent a letter to a terrorist I used to know. Yeah, I think I do. I think this is my favourite first line so far. Let's do it again just so that we can enjoy that, because that is a nice first line. Oh. A man called Lu Fang stole Alva's mother in Grand Ballroom B of Shanghai's Imperial Hotel. That's a really, really good first line. It's intriguing. It sets the scene really well. It gives you slight, not foreboding, but like foreshadowing of what's to come. Yeah, I really, really, really like that as a first line. Well done, all involved. And then we have Karen Lord's The Blue Beautiful World. I've read her before, really enjoyed Redemption in Indigo, so I'm keen to get to this. The emissary, oh, I can't even say that. The emissary kept on digging his own grave, centimetre by centimetre, word by word. I don't love that. I don't love it. It goes somewhere in the middle. Yeah, we'll pop that there. Then Chetnut Maru's Western Lane, first line of which was a Booker Prize shortlisted, I think, book, so therefore I've got high hopes for the first line. I don't know if you've ever stood in the middle of a squash court on the tee and listened to what's going on next door. No, I haven't. I have not. It has to be said. Maybe this is tricky. I will do a recap at the end. Oh, we've got some sunshine issues going on, which frankly I'm not mad at because it's March and it needs to be a bit sunnier. It hasn't been as sunny as I would like so far this year. We have Night Bloom next by Peace Adzo Medi. And the first line of that is, my mother said that she'd always known. Now, I do quite like that because I'm like, oh, what's she always known? There is also that whole thing of instantly that mother-child relationship, which, I mean, you know, I do videos and stuff with my mum and we have a lovely relationship, but mother and child relationships can be tempestuous at points. And also that whole mother knows best thing. So that one does quite intrigue me. I'm going to put it under Alice and her microwave and neon nails. I mean, I was about to say she was microwaving her neon nails, but I don't think that's the case. Next, we have Ordinary Human Failings by Megan Nolan. The first line of which is, down below in Schuyler Square, the trouble was passing quickly from door to door. Mothers telling mothers, not speaking aloud, but somehow saying, baby gone, bad man, wild animal. Gosh, that's really good. That is competing with that for the best first line. I think it's going to go there. So, blimey. And then last, but by no means least, or we don't know, it might be last in my favourite sentences or order of sentences, Pam Williams, A Trace of Sun, the first line of which is, Rafe sat on the crooked step, taking shade from the eye-squinting brightness of the midday Caribbean sun. I'm going to be frank, it's a bit dull, that, despite the sun. Also, sun's in the title. I hope we're not going to get sun mentioned constantly as a metaphor for everything or just a shortcut, because that would bother me. So I'm going to put that. I need to read that one again. Rafe sat on the crooked step, taking shade from the eye-squinting brightness of the midday Caribbean sun. I'm going to pop that at the bottom. There we go. I've got a sunshine situation going on still. There we go. Right, so in my order of, should we go least favourite to favourite? Let's do that. Talk amongst yourselves. Last, but honestly not least, I just didn't love that first sentence, so that was a bit boring, is Pam Williams, A Trace of Sun. As I said, it's Rafe sat on the crooked step, taking shade from the eye-squinting brightness of the midday Caribbean sun. Just, yeah, that didn't quite do it for me. Then we have the Wren. The first line was, there is a psychologist in Nevada called Russell T. Hurlburt who is interested in the different ways people think. Just doesn't do anything, not wowing me, I'll be honest. Soldier Sailor. Well, Sailor, I can remember that at least. It's memorable because it's so blinking short, but it didn't really, is what I thought a little bit of that one. Sadly, Kate Grenville, Restless, Dolly, Maunder, the end papers are fabulous, but the first line, not so good. As soon as she could walk, she knew she wanted to be outside, moving. It's just, again, a bit, there's not a lot to go on there. Then we have 8 Lives of a Century-Old Trickster by Mirinae Lee. I would say from the title, if we were doing titles in order, this would be one of my absolute favourites. I think it's a great title. But the first line, the idea came to me while I was going through my divorce. Actually, do you know what that reminds me of? I used to say on the Readers podcast that I used to host with my friend Gavin and my friend Thomas that my idea of books that I dread are literary novels where somebody is walking to the shops but thinking about their entire divorce as they go, you know what I mean? And that is giving that, if I'm honest. Chetnut Maru's Western Lane, The first line being, I don't know if you've ever stood in the middle of a squash court on the tee and listened to what is going on next door. I'd actually forgotten that first line, which is daft considering it's about squash and I know the whole book is about squash. So there we have that. Then Karen Lord's, are we sort of at the midway point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, not quite. Karen Lord's The Blue Beautiful World. The first line being, I think it might also not have helped that emissary tripped me up. The emissary kept on digging his own grave, centimetre by centimetre, word by word. There's something I quite like about the repetition of centimetre by centimetre, word by word, but also that implies possibly sometimes there may be a couple too many words as you go on. Like, I know there won't be because I've read it before, but that's what I would think if I didn't know the name of the author or anything. I'd be like, oh, that's a bit repetitive. Is that going to happen throughout? Then we have Hangman. And the first line, as I mentioned, was, in the morning I received a phone call and I was told to board a flight. I'm intrigued. There is intrigue there. I'm pretty keen to find out more. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to switch because I think I like this one less. This one was the blonde woman who I'm pretty sure said her name is Amy, but who doesn't really look like Amy, more like an Anne, peers out at us in our rows. Yeah, I'm going to put that one next. And then the one about boarding the flight in Hangman, because I am intrigued by that. Night Bloom was the line. I've now forgotten it. My mother said that she'd always known. Oh yes, I do like that for all sorts of reasons, but maybe actually, I don't know, I feel like that one beats it a bit, so, oh dear, I've changed my mind again. And then she fell, Alicia, Elliott, and the first line of this was about the microwave. I remember it. Alice never seemed to hear the microwave beeping, not even when she was 3 feet away from it, feet propped on the kitchen table as she painted her toenails neon green. I like it. It's long, it's a bit... but I like it, so that one's a good one. The Maiden surprised me, as I mentioned, because it had just that simple first line of, you are sentenced to beheading. Then we have Enter Ghost. I was trying to be clever and remember what the title was. I think this is about flying again, isn't it? I think. I expected them to interrogate me. No. I expected them to interrogate me at the airport, and they did. I think that's a really, really good first line. As I do, Brotherless Nights. I recently sent a letter to a terrorist I used to know. That, I think, is a great first line. And so is... Oh, this is just sinister. Down below in Schuyler Square, the trouble was passing quickly from door to door. Mothers telling mothers, not speaking aloud, but somehow saying, baby gone, bad man, wild animal. Gosh, yeah, that's quite... the opener, but this is my favourite and I think it is an absolute corker. I just love the idea of someone's mum being stolen in a ballroom. A man called Lu Fang stole Alva's mother in Grand Ballroom B of Shanghai's Imperial Hotel. That is a corking first line. So now I'm going to try and put them in order so that I can hold them up and show you. I hope you're taking notes. I'll be interested to see what Mum's order was actually, and if they changed as she was going through them or not. I'm literally talking to fill time. This is why I can do live TV presenting. That's space. This is the right word, isn't it? Yeah. Oh gosh, I hadn't thought about this because now I have to tip them upside down. Oh no, I really hadn't thought about this. Oh goodness me. Here we go. There they go. That's the order. My wrists are going to break any second. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that. That is the order I judged them or gave preference to them, or however you want to word it. Judgy sounds really harsh, but it's kind of true. I can't remember how that compares to Mum's in her video. If any of you have watched both, let me know in the comments down below. Moving on to what I have decided is going to be my first read from the Women's Prize for Fiction Longlist 2024. It's quite a mouthful, that, isn't it? It won me over from the first sentence. River East, River West by Orb Ray Lescure. And I'll probably be starting this, I think, on Tuesday, as I'm currently doing a little bit of work reading. And I think I'm going to, well, I'm definitely going to be blogging my way along as I read the Women's Prize for Fiction Longlist 2024 in my reading journal / reading blogs. But there might be different blogs in between, as I've got quite a bit of travel coming up in the next few weeks and I don't know how many bags I'm going to be able to pack. I'll be talking to you more about that on Tuesday in a more chatty, bookish projects and all that kind of sort of stuff catch up, because I feel like I haven't had one of those in quite a while and I would like one. This is definitely going to be the one that I head to, and I am planning on Tuesday because I have an event on Tuesday night and I haven't filmed anything at any events much, I don't think, this year. Plus on Thursday I'm off to London Book Fair. Then Friday, well, I should say what the event is that I'm doing on Tuesday. It's with Alicia Dusapan, and I'll be talking about mainly her latest novel, but also her previous two at West Kirby Bookshop. And I think this, which is her latest, Vladivostok Circus, translated by Anissa Abbas Higgins, could be on the Booker International long list. It's the only punt that I'm making because I'm so not a favour with what's going on in the translated literature world, which is something I would definitely like to be better at. And I will probably be reading the shortlist of the International Booker once it's announced in April, as I may have a little bit of a YouTube break over the coming weeks when I've got quite a lot on, and then actually nothing on for a whole week when I'm hopefully going to be in the middle of absolutely nowhere celebrating my 42nd birthday and having some proper time off. But before I go, I'll mention this again on Tuesday's video, and I'm also going to now, a little bit last minute, be hosting Armistead Moorpan in Bristol on Friday, talking about the 10th in the Tales of the City series, Mona of the Manor. You'll have guessed that because it's been in my hand this entire time. I love Armistead, and I genuinely cannot stress enough that if it hadn't been for finding Tales of the City in my mid to late teens, I might have had a much darker teenage years. I might not have been the reader that I am, and I certainly may not have been quite so hopeful about my future as a queer member of the human race. I was going to say community, but then I went for some reason for a bit more drama. This is what's going on with my reading at the moment. Once I've done all that, I'll be heading to River East, River West, and that's going to be the start of my Women's Prize Longlist for Fiction 2024 journey, I guess. I'm really, really excited for it. I hope you're going to join me along the way too, and hopefully we can share some bookish thoughts as we go. Don't tell me any spoilers of any of the books before I've got to them, and like I said, at the moment I haven't got to a single one yet. It is showing me that once I've got planned reading, I'm much better than I am whim reading, and I decided to take that whim reading video that I did a while back down because I felt like I just couldn't quite explain why that was the case, and yet it is. I'm gonna go. I will see you for a bookish chatty catch up about lots of exciting things on Tuesday. I hope you're all reading something fab, and if you want more content from me in the interim, my Instagram, my X, my Patreon, plus my wish list for that forthcoming 42nd birthday where I'll be in the middle of nowhere, are all down below, and I will see you in another video very, very soon. Bye.